Yep. So we're going to talk about today, price action and everything. We're going to start out on the daily chart. On the daily, we can see we have two PSPs yesterday, last two previous days, Wednesday, Thursday, and with the NASDAQ, so pretty important. We also had Dow sweep all-time highs today, so it was very probable for us to have just a Friday reversal. But obviously, I'm not going to count the Friday reversal unless we have some lower time frame SSMT with the daily PSPs. And then that's exactly what we had. So it was a pretty simple day. Um, First of all, we had, let's see, on the 1 hour. This is the easiest way to see it. So we had double Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And here we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So bam, 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 bam. And then as well as the Dow, up, up, up. So the Dow needed to get all-time high, so that's why it ran super premium. So it all makes sense, right? And then NQ is the best one to enter for the short because it's the one to have failure swings. So then looking at the time, it was 07 a.m. And I was pretty much considering like, okay, are we just gonna rip straight down, or are we gonna first take out this PSP? This is a PSP right here. We're in the gap, which is super clean, but maybe we need to go back up to trade open before we reverse. We also had a PSP right here on the 1 hour, which I didn't realize during London, but this pretty much explains why we never had to retrace back, because this is PSP is the one on Dow at the very high. But now I see that actually, so that's pretty clean. Anyway, double weekly, so bearish bias was very expectable. Now we go down the lower time frame, 930 rips lower, absolutely worry free. That confirms my bearish bias. Now, that was pretty interesting. The first few minutes of 930, we did run higher. We had a little whoop-de-whoop. Oh, well, we actually ran right at 930. But those first few minutes, like, seemed like, oh, we might have a pullback, and we just dropped. And we had a micro as well there. Yeah, we had a micro as well. Micro, beautiful thing to see right before 930 expansion. So then, with this in place, I went with a classic, bam, right there. So the range, obviously the original range was back here. There's that 925. So I'm trying to work around with the opening range gap. So pretty much what I saw was we went up into this gap, right? We can't come back there anymore, and my bias is bearish. So then, second time we come back up there, which this candle is pretty much, it's not a 3 minute, maybe we'll see it. That is not 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the idea was we're pulling back up, hitting this previous range, and all this is consolidation, so we're not going to chop for much. So my base was that we'll pull back up if we fail to take this high, which we should, and I'll just enter right in there. So I enter in this wick, stop loss at the same wick, and my entry was pretty much like this. So stop loss, same wick, of course, because it was pretty obvious. I mean, it wasn't the most obvious thing, but compared to just in general, it was pretty solid. And then 3RR. So risk was 330 to make almost 1,000. It kind of shot right through my TP a little bit and gave me some bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys. So pretty much here's the entry, and then one candle and two candles straight down. And here you guys can see that exact trade. So there it is on the 1 minute, beautiful entry at the top, all the way straight to the bottom, and there it is on the 5 minute. You can see I entered 23,870, which 23,870 on the chart is 23,870, about there. So super tight stop, but we really didn't need anything more than that. So It's a pretty tight stop. Got the 3R. Was such a tight stop. I could have 1000% held it longer, but I'm not really in it for that, so I don't really care too much about it. But we did take these lows out right here, which, I mean, for future references, like after my next payout, I might start leaving a partial and entering like micros instead of minis, because I could easily guarantee the 4A, which is pretty much 5RR, which in this case would be 1500, but it's whatever. For now, I'm sticking to the rules because I know this works. So there's a 3RR on the 5 minute, super crisp. Yes, there was also an entry right here on the pullback at 10:15. It lined up perfectly on the 15 minute, but I didn't take that one. This is also not bad, but I didn't take that one because I took the one previously and one trade a day. Anyway, so here's the stats. Solid a week. This was a mechanical error. This was an actual loss. So I'm not really counting this one. But after that, break even, win for 3R. So doing pretty good. Finally back up in profit, and we're gonna see how next week goes. And then for my funded futures, so we started off with that L day on there, which is when we tried everything, it didn't go, and then we took, but I took a dub on, what's it called? I took a dub on the top step for one shot. So this was quarterly theory, right? I took a loss in the quarterly theory, but then that same day, Wednesday, I took a dub on the top step. But after that, I had a dub yesterday, which was the news, and then today, I shorted it right over here. So when it pulled back up there on this candle right here, I entered a short. I can tell you the exact one. So I first entered a short right here. Then it pulled back up and my stop loss was right here. And I got stopped out barely. Then I entered another short here. I saw you didn't take the high. And so then it delivered like 200 ticks and a little less than 200 ticks. Then I left. So that one was 127 for today. But on MFF, you only need 100 for a green day. So I don't really need the payout. So I don't think I'm going to take it out. I'll probably just keep grinding it to get the live. Because if I go live, I have a profitable day, I can just pull it out every single day that I have it. So then I'll just have this on the side. So like if I ever need it, I can just take one trade and then pull it out right away same day. So that's the plan with this, and yeah, that's about it. And then next week, let's take a look at next week. So we didn't close with a PSP, so we can still expect bullish. A really high chance of us just having a small pullback on Monday. I don't think we're going to come. We need to hit previous week Monday, in my opinion. So a pretty good chance, in my opinion, that we're going to come down and sweep these lows right here on NASDAQ, and then we will continue higher and keep grinding those all-time highs. So yeah, so 2% more, 1% down, 2% up. So that's about it. Adios.